who's as adamant about his or her position as I am about mine, whom you think is sharp. Seriously, we know that. And another thing, we heard him say that... Hey Eldorados, Larry Elder here, aka The Great Eldersky, and welcome to another edition of And Another Thing. This is edition number 31. For all you people who are not Eldorados, I urge you to go to my website, LarryElder.com, sign up. You're going to get a free copy of Michael and Me. What is Michael and Me? Well, Michael and Me is an award-winning DVD that I wrote, produced, and directed. It's about the Second Amendment, about the history of the Second Amendment, and I ambushed the esteemed director, the anti-gun guy, Michael Moore, and I asked him 3 times how often Americans use guns to defend themselves, and 3 times he gave an answer that I thought was something less than responsive, but you can decide yourself. Now for my commentary. The Supreme Court yesterday handed down 2 major decisions having to do with same-sex marriage. One was having to do with the Defense of Marriages Act. The other was Proposition 8. Let's do Defense of Marriages Act first, also known as DOMA. Let's remember before we talk about this that DOMA was signed into law by Bill Clinton in 1996. The reason I laugh is because after DOMA was struck down, I gave away the ending. After DOMA was struck down, Bill Clinton put out a statement praising the decision, doesn't mention he's the one who signed it into law. It's amazing how quickly something like that has now become bigotry, and the guy that signed into law the bigotry doesn't admit that it's his bigotry. He just says, oh, what a great day for freedom, never mentioning that he's the one who actually imposed the so-called lack of freedom. But that's chutzpah, and Bill Clinton has never been shy in that department, has he? But back to the case. So it was decided 5-4. Let me tell you why I'm not happy with the way it came about, although I'm happy with the result. By that I mean, as a libertarian, I'm okay with same-sex marriages. I think most libertarians you're going to find are okay with same-sex marriages. It's not a hard call for somebody like me. I understand that it is a serious issue, don't get me wrong. And I think the thing that probably distinguishes me from maybe some other people who support same-sex marriage, Hank is from Villa Park, California. Regarding all the hubbub over Paula Dean's use of an inappropriate word is just overkill. I agree with you. There are other celebrities that have said the same stuff and worse, and no one says a word. I bet $1 million that there are a lot of people on TV and other prominent positions who've used that word but would never be honest enough to admit it. Larry, as a black person, what is your take on this whole thing? Well, I would never want anybody to have put a Google map, Google glasses in my life and to have recorded everything that I've ever said when I've gotten angry at somebody. There's a scene from Godfather that I like to refer to illustrate the point here. Robert Duvall goes to the producer to try to get the producer to agree to hire somebody that the Godfather wants him to hire, and the producer doesn't want to do it. And so Duvall says, well, I'm going to leave now. I've got to go back and give the bad news. And the producer says something to the effect of, I don't care what you, and he used some slur for Italians, say. And Duvall informs him that he is Irish German. To which the producer immediately then uses a slur for Irish people and German people. I mean, in a nanosecond, he had a whole category of words that he could have used, a thesaurus of words that he could have used that are insults. And the point was he wanted to punch Duvall. He wanted to say something insulting. If Duvall had been Asian, he would have said something else. If he had been black, he would have said something else. He just wanted to insult him. So I'm not sure how much you can take all this stuff. And you mentioned about celebrities using the N-word. Forget celebrities. Let's talk about public figures. There's a book called The Dark Side of Camelot written by Seymour Hersh. He used to write for the New York Times. He now writes for the New Yorker. And he referred to JFK as calling the newly emerging African republics as boogie republics, derisively. Bill Clinton once referred to a local Jesse Jackson type as a black MF, according to one of the troopers. Hillary Rodham Clinton called her husband's former campaign manager after they lost a congressional race in Arkansas a effing Jew bastard. His name was Paul Fry. He publicly said that Hillary said it, and Paul Fry's wife was there, and Paul Fry's wife confirmed it, and Paul Fry said he would take a polygraph. And the whole thing just kind of fizzled away. There's a letter that Harry Truman wrote in which he referred to... I hope you enjoyed this small excerpt. If you want to see the full video, got to be in El Dorado. Go to my website, LarryElder.com, log in, fill out the form. It'll cost you about $4.75 a month, or about the price of a mocha frappuccino latte at your favorite coffee house. As you can tell, I don't like coffee. I'm a tea drinker. See you next time.